Hey, yo, it's your boy PACMAN. We are back at it again with another video for you. As you can see from the thumbnail, we are playing Gundam card game now. So we're adding Gundam card game to the channel. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys are new here, I am bringing you a lot of Gundam content. This was Newtype Challenge weekend. So I have about 15 games to upload. Really, it's 14 because I forgot to record one. The game I had against Davion, who actually made me this sleeve, which is for my EX resource, and then obviously my custom PACMAN sleeve for my EX base. So that's pretty cool there. And then yeah, we just use these Gundam card game sleeves for our resources here. Cool thing, I got all foil resources. I had mostly all these heroes, picked up a wing, my favorite mobile suit, and then we pulled the gold Gundam plus as well. But yeah, so neither here nor there. Yeah, Gundam's been a very fun game. Newtype Challenge weekend was amazing. Shout out to the 3 stores that I went to. Quest Comics out in Carrollton, Georgia. Then we had Win Condition games out in Kennesaw, Georgia, and then I believe it was Superheroes out in Noonan. We won one of those, being at Win Condition, and got first and basically finished in top 4 at the other 2. So being able to secure 3 Soletas and 1 rebuild, that's a really good weekend for me. But like I said, from the thumbnail, you guys can see I'm playing green white, and I truly believe this is the best deck, and I will be the best pilot for this deck moving forward. It is my favorite mobile suit. It's my favorite deck, and it's the only deck I'm playing. So we're just gonna go ahead and dive right on in. So we are currently playing 11 pilots. First pilot being Hero Yui. Hero Yui is just super strong. Being able to make Wing Gundam a 7-7 on Link, and also being able to make your Wing 0 an 8-9 because during the Link you get an additional bump. So that's like super strong. My second favorite pilot, or really arguably the best pilot in this deck, right, is Duo Maxwell. Duo Maxwell is super dope due to the fact that he has +2 health. That's the biggest thing here. The Durin Link is only with his unit, which is Death Scythe, and Death Scythe's so strong in this deck. I really like that card. I've had a lot of people say that they would cut it down. I think maybe eventually, depending on the support we get for the deck, determines whether or not we will change our pilots. There are some things that I kind of want to test moving forward, and I'll kind of go over those things once we get through the deck profile. But yeah, Duo's huge. He's really good for Death Scythe, being able to get that swing immediately. The last pilot that we had is Kira. We played 3. I've been back and forth. I started with 8 pilots, then went to 10, then went to 11. And the reason why we went to 11 is because of how many units we went up in blockers. Mainly Ale. Ale was a 2 of. It has now gone to a 4 of in this deck. So you'll see that once we get there. But what's really strong about the Kira card right now is the fact that Kira has this -2 AP. So essentially on attack, this is a 4 AP and 1 health, 1 HP. So I think Kira is super strong. Now, when I was testing, I actually put a different arc of Kira here to see if I would miss it, or to really determine whether it was the card that I replaced it with. And the card I replaced it with was the spell. The spell, we actually went down to 2. We were on 3. So which is the command, should I say. The command was like super duper strong when I first started playing the deck, and it kind of like fell off. It teetered off towards the end, and I went down to 2. So being at a 2 of this entire weekend has felt great. I've missed on this card once out of the 15 games I played. It was unlucky at that point, but I never really want to see multiple of these, so that's why we went down to 2. This is arguably my cut slot in the deck because like I said, I feel like it's the weakest card. The next card we have is going to be 4 Overflowing Affection. Card super good in the early game, mid game, late game. Anytime you have that one extra resource, being able to draw 2 and pitch 1 is super dope. And just fix your hand and find everything that you need. Super good there. I don't think this, in any color that's playing white, you're never cutting this past 4. Like this is an automatic like staple for white. It's a complete 4 of. Now as for wing, green white wing, I think this is now also a 4 of. Striker pack, super strong. So many times I hit this out of life, and it's just backbreaking for the opponent. Being able to create a 3/3 token is insane. If you have no Earth Alliance tokens in play, so you kind of have to like give and take, because you don't want to burst one of these out of life when you have a token. So a lot of times my token instantly gets traded into something, or if I draw one, I try to blow up the token, like trade it into something to where I can play another one and have a much healthier body, or just hold it for the later game. And if you see too many of them, you can then pitch them off the Overflowing Affection. So we're on 10 commands as of right now, and like I said, this slot here is the weakest slot in the deck, so we may be testing some new two of in the deck as well. The next set of cards, we're going to talk about the bases. And the bases, I'm currently on 5 bases, and the reason being is because having the 5th base has increased my chance of seeing a base out of life. And the way the meta is going, at least for me, which I have a personal vendetta against the blue-green rush aggro deck, it's just super strong. So my deck is really tailored to that, and because there's a lot of them in my area, which is insane how much it is. But I do think that deck is a deck. It is something that is strong. I think that people are going to continue to play it, and they're gonna be like, hey, we're gonna play Casino Royale. So having these 5 bases have been really good. This has come up every once in a while for the effect. If I had a white base that had 6 health, that would probably be this. But the desert base, underground desert base, is in here because it's 6 health. The Archangel is in here due to the fact that we can tap 2 to untap our blockers, which are really good. So you can swing with your blockers and then being able to untap them. So we are on 5 bases when it comes to that. Now also, like I said, it's a higher chance of hitting it out of life. So let's go ahead and talk about like our early game, and basically what I want to do every turn. Like this deck basically does the same thing every turn. Every game you're gonna do the same thing because you want to get to the late game. So I don't play bird mode. I think bird mode is a very terrible card now, due to the fact of how much aggro there is. But here's the blocker lineup that I'm currently playing outside of Striker Pack, and it's going to be 4 Lefrith, 4 Zort, and 4 L's. Now L links with Kira. That's why we're on the 3 Kiras, just in case we need to swing with this. But these 12 blockers plus the 4 striker packs have been essential to me. Very strong. I trade with the Zorts anytime I can. I'll throw pilots into these, making them stronger, mainly duo, because duo is just like really good. And just being able to trade, do healthy trades, or trades to where, like, if I put a Kira in my Lefrith can attack and give something -2 and not take any damage. And if they don't ping it or kill it, or destroy my unit, it's just there to keep going. Same thing with Zort. Anything you turn sideways is Zort's gonna go into. The 12 blockers have been essential, and I'm really thinking about going up even more in that 2 card slot to possibly adding 2 more blockers to the deck. I have played around with all these ratios and they're like super duper strong. Zort not being able to attack does kind of suck sometimes, but for the most part, I just need to see him early game. just so I can survive, because he's the only thing I can play on 2-2. The deck doesn't have a turn 2 play outside of a base or overflowing. And a lot of times you just need to establish these blockers early, because it prevents them from turning a lot of their bodies sideways, if that makes sense. Because if you can preserve your base, your EX base and all your shield for a longer time, then what's going to happen is you'll be able to get to that late game. So the only ramp in the deck that we actually have is going to be the Death Scythe. The Death Scythe is the only card in the deck that provides us with the ability to get to the to go from level 6 to level 8 essentially. So a lot of times if you make it to 6 and you have this with the duo, you'll be able to swing and get first strike. There's been times where I just play it and I put the duo in and I don't swing because they don't have anything tap, or I'll throw a hero in here, because this effect happens when it's paired with any Operation Meteor Pilot. Now obviously you want the link with duo so you can attack with it the turn it's played, but sometimes you just have to, you know, not get caught up in always wanting to swing with this, and being able to understand that by you putting an Operation Meteor in here, it puts your opponent on the time clock of understanding that Wing Zero is coming down. So we're on 4 Gundam Death Scythe. We're also on 4 of the Gundam Wing, or Wing Gundam should I say. Wing Gundam, before the set, when we were in beta, this was arguably the strongest card in the game, due to it have it Breach 5, and this inherently has Breach 5, so you can just play it and not put hero in it or not put any pilot in it. If it doesn't get rested with Armor Root Ray, or, you know, tap down, you'll be able to next turn swing into a small unit and then do Breach 5. So that's like really strong. Now if they have a 6 shield base or a 5 shield base and you don't have a unit to attack into, you're only swinging for 4, but a lot of times you have those units to trade this with, and then making him a 7/7 with hero is really strong. And then my favorite card is Gundam Wing Zero, or Wing Gundam Zero. And Wing Zero is a really insane card. As soon as it comes down, it deals 3 damage to the entire board that is level 5 or lower. So these are safe. A lot of times where I've had where like Lafrith would be in play, and with Lafrith being in play, I would swing with it, right? And reason being is because I'm already gonna put 3 damage on it if I drop this down. So we'll like do some crazy trades or swinging at base inherently and then drop in wing, or if I have to leave this up, I only take 3 damage, so he survives. Lafrith is super strong, and it's the reason why we play it. And a lot of times off a striker pack, and this is why we also run 4 striker packs, like I said, is because striker pack gives us 4 more Lafrith. Lafrith is super strong. Like this stat line is super strong. Like I don't understand why it's so strong. It just is. Being able to just have it, striker pack being able to have that ability to not flood out tokens is insane. If it didn't have that stipulation, this deck would probably truly be tier 0, because I could just flood blockers at that point. And then even with Ale on board, Ale is a 4/4, so Ale won't die either. Being able to be strong enough to deal with, you know, the damage, or even sticking pilots in it. That's why duos, or, you know, if you have to put the Kira or the hero in it, sometimes you have to deal the 3 damage to your units in order to clear the rest of the units. Or you'll trade like swing out, if they already have damage on them, swing out with these, drop the Wing Zero, yeah, you'll destroy them. But definitely make sure you understand the plays on when to play this card, because you don't want to just destroy your cards just because. But matchups all weekend were insane. I played just about every matchup you can think of when it comes to like the relevant decks. But again, this deck performed very well. me only dropping 2 games this weekend. Super dope. The 2 games I lost was to red blue and to green blue. Again, I have a personal vendetta against green blue and the other the red blue ping deck, but mostly green blue because I think my matchup spread against everything else is really favored for me, whereas green blue is just like super fast. So that's why we're on currently 16 blockers, and we may go up to 18. A couple different tech cards that you can look to add to the deck are the Launcher Strike Gundam. Launcher Strike being a blocker, and it's a 3/4, so it's a little more healthier. This does also pair with Kira, so Kira will make this a 5/5. Really strong there. Another card that I kind of don't like, because I don't like putting cards back in people's hands. Yes, you can hit the tokens with these, but it's also a level 5. So a lot of that level 5 slot is kind of, I wouldn't say it's heavy, but it is at the point to where I would want to just go L Kira. But again, Kira can also pair into Perfect Strike Gundam. A card that I've seen some people are trying is Freedom. Freedom's hefty. It's a 5/7 or a 7/5, but being able to have it have blocker, and then when you stick Kira into it, which is its link, since we are playing Kira, it's just another unit. And then on the play, during pair once per turn, when you pair a unit with this, so when you pair Kira with this, you give something -2, and then when you swing with it, Kira is going to give something else -2, so that's a -4 on the turn that it's linked or paired. Well, the turn is linked. Another card we can play is Unforeseen Incident. Unforeseen Incident does have burst, so this is an option in that 2 card slot that we talked about earlier for the path to victory and defeat, because sometimes that will be the path you take is defeat. And then another card that you can look into is the Gundam Aerial Rebuild that buys back a command, so you can buy back your Overflowing Affections back if you need to, or your striker packs. Something that could be pretty cool. You just have to play around with the ratios. One thing I'll tell you about Gundam is find what works for you, find what you're comfortable with. Again, this is the most comfortable deck that I'm used to playing, and it's also been the only deck I want to play because of my favorite Gundam. So like, comment, subscribe, please. We're working on our way to get to 1,000 subs. Definitely want to get there. I'm going to continue to do my best to get content with you guys. I'm actually going to flood you guys with all 14 matches this week. I'll try to get those commentated over with my thoughts as I'm playing. And it's from a new angle that I haven't done on the channel, which is my point of view. But you still get to see the opponent, you get to see my hands. If you guys think I should have made, there were better lines, definitely drop them in the comments. The goal is to get better so I can become the best wing pilot as well. So if you guys are playing Gundam, let me know what you're playing. Let me know if my deck is the deck for you or the deck you've been playing. We definitely want to continue to grow this game. It's a fairly new game. Set 2's coming out around the corner with the new star decks and the introduction of purple. I will be at Pro Play Summit in Denver this upcoming weekend. So there's a Gundam case tournament there. So I'm curious to see how that pans out and see what people are playing, and possibly finish getting the alts that I need for the deck, as well as just seeing you guys. Feel free to drop by. There's also a One Piece tournament there. You guys really should get out to these Pro Play Summits. They're really cool. Payouts are amazing. We're giving away cases and stuff and whatnot. So it's something that's super dope. And then yeah, after that, the following weekend's Bandai Fest. So I'm gonna do as much as I can to get more content out to you guys, and then also see if I can get some One Piece testing in as well. Maybe I record some sim games. Not a big fan of the sim, rather play with the physical cards. So maybe I'll record some Discord games and get with somebody on the Discord. Work schedule's kind of a little bit hectic, but if not, I'll get some gameplay while I'm out in Denver for the summit. And maybe I'll record the games, the matches from Table 1 for One Piece, so that way you guys can have some content to look at the week before Nats. So yeah, again, it's your boy Pac-Man. We out here, we're doing our thing. We're playing Gundam card game now. We added it to the repertoire. So super dope, super cool game. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe yet again. And if anybody's got a problem with you, tell them to kiss your ears, because that's what I do. Peace, love, and happiness. We out of here. Gone.